Okay, so now we're going to do the second part of part B, where instead of revolving around the horizontal line of y equals 0, which is the x-axis, we're now going to be revolving around the non-axis line x equals 2, which is a vertical line. So before we were finding the volume bounded between the points x equals 0 and x equals 1.1356925 with all the decimals after that. And those were our bounds for the integral. But now we're going to be using the y coordinates of the intersection points of f of x and g of x. So first we're going to find the intersection points of those two functions and use the y coordinates as the bounds. So we found that y equals 1 and y equals 1.7644628 and more coming after that. So we're going to let a equal 1 and b equal 1.7644628 and the other decimals after that. So we're going to move on to the next slide. And so in order to do this, we need to put all the formulas, the original formulas, in terms of y instead of in terms of x. So it's going to be an x equals something with a y in it as the variable. So after putting both formulas in terms of y, you should get x equals arc sine y minus 1 all over 2 and x equals 2 natural log of y. Then we're ready to do the volume of the figure after revolving it around the non-axis line x equals 2. So the radius is going to be the line of 2 minus the outermost largest circle, which is formed by f of x, which is the sine arc sine y minus 1 over 2. That's going to be our equation for it. So the integral of it is going to be pi times the integral from a to b, the y coordinates, remember, of the intersection points, of 2 minus arc sine y minus 1 over 2, all of that squared, because it's the radius squared. Pi r squared is the area of the circle, adding the integral, and the dy will give it the volume. So it's going to be pi integral from a to b, then the radius is 2 minus arc sine y minus 1 over 2, all squared dy. Then we're going to subtract the innermost smaller circle, which is g of x. So it's going to be the volume of that is going to be pi integral from a to b 2 minus 2 ln y squared dy. And after doing that, we get the final answer of 2.975 units cubed. And I know this problem was a little bit confusing, but hopefully you guys could follow along.